Welcome to the Panthers postgame show. Kristen Balboni, Trey Boston, Al Wallace. And guys, what a game it was. Panthers go into Mercedes-Benz Stadium, 30-27 overtime win. They are now a half game back in the division. And Al, it all came on the back of Bryce Young and this passing game. He set a franchise record for passing yards with 448. What can you say about the young quarterback?
Yeah, the bounce back was big for Bryce, this team, Dave Canales, for that team to go on the road after we saw them here in the bank just a week ago and put that type of gritty performance out, in front of the Atlanta Falcons fans, man. You have to feel good. Being a former player, being a fan of this franchise, this team was just amazing to watch.
Yeah, being able to know that this was an important game of the season, to see them come out first half, we were a little on the rocks, but to see a fighting performance, you could tell when they went into half, they knew what was at risk. They came out fighting, and this is another win that we've seen our Panthers win in a different style of win. And man, hats off to Bryce coming off a big week where last week we knew we needed a big performance from him this week.
And we're certainly going to talk about some of these throws that we're seeing here. But I'll tell you what, guys, the thing that stood out to me, and Trey, you just mentioned that we came out fighting, was how tough he was.
Absolutely.
Right? He goes down with this ankle injury. He goes down twice with this ankle injury, and he is able to come back. He doesn't even miss a series after he goes down the first time, and is back and then delivers this performance and is not afraid to step up in the pocket, is not afraid to be as mobile as is possible for him in that situation. And guys, in addition to the performance, to do it hurt is just really admirable.
Yeah, when you have a quarterback, your quarterback is usually the starter, the tempo, the tone setter of your offense and your team. So to be able to see him come back, be hit injured, come back and truly put up, team record numbers, it shows you, hats off to him, the type of leader he is. Again, it goes to this franchise, the fans wondering, is Bryce our guy? Absolutely, this is our guy. And again, I like the way that we're winning football games. We're winning in multiple facets. So to see Bryce Young come out, again, injured and perform like this, it just shows you that QB1 really wants this. And he showed his guys, this is exactly why I am the guy.
Yeah, KB, I think as a defensive player, and I know the guys feel the same way on offense, we've heard so much about Bryce and how they feel about him as a leader. Well, another box check, right? We're learning about this young guy as he continues to develop. Is he going to get in the foxhole with us? The answer is yes. Yeah. He's going to get banged up. He's going to come back out of the locker room. I will do what it takes. I am your leader. If I can play, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to give you everything I have, man. You have to be excited about another layer of Bryce Young that we learned here yesterday.
We certainly did. And, he was asked in the postgame press conference if he was feeling some pain, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, pain's an accurate way to sum it up. Obviously you're just trying not to, look too far. You just getting through it. Coach staff was around, coach was around, all the guys are around. So, you just breathe through the pain. That's all it is. You're just trying to push through it, get back up. And, again, training staff did a great job. I was able to come back, get retaped. And, again, regardless of what it is, I want to be out there with my guys. I want to be out there to play. I don't take this game for granted. The Lord's blessed me to be here, to have this opportunity. And any time that I am able to go, I always want to do that. So, in the moment, you're just working through pain, just get up, walk off, and then after that, you're doing everything you can to get back on the field.
And certainly you football players, the two of you sitting up here, are no stranger to pain, right? Yeah. So as you said, Al, it is great to see him and set that tone to be able to play even when injured. And we saw some of those big throws, some really impressive throws. And Al, as you said, last week, that was kind of the question coming out of that game is, can this passing game get going? And they answered it in a big way. And you look at, 9 different guys got the ball. And when you look at what that did, especially for some of these young receivers, the numbers that they put up because it was such a big day, that Trey, I have to think, when you look at this, the confidence maybe, especially for Xavier Legette and Jalen Coker really getting involved there. We know that Tetero McMillan is going to have a big day, but to look at those young guys really get going there is great.
Yeah, we've been saying Jalen Coker for a while, knowing that he was coming back. I love to see him get involved in key moments. It seemed like when we needed big plays and everybody thought we would go to T-Mac or Leggett, or, I thought we would do it ourselves. We found ways to go to Coker. This crosser right here, you see yards after catch, guys fighting for the next yard. I mean, these guys are putting it on as a company. I mean, I want these boys as a tandem to know, hey, you got to guard all three of us, four of us every game. You don't have to feel like you just got to go to one guy. So I thought what I loved in this game was not only did the wide receivers come with a big game, but I thought we got our tight end started early in this game, giving momentum of spreading the ball out. There's no reason why we can't find ways to get the ball to 6 to 9 guys a game. Now, you won't get to 8, 9 a guy, guys a game every game, but it was great to see us get it in this fashion.
Yeah, it's complementary football. And when you look at Jalen Coker, and we're talking about injuries, I think Trey knows this. Like, we come back before we were 100%. I think part of it is seeing a guy that is now 100% healthy from the injury early in the season that slowed him down. Everyone understands their role. And of course, hey, T-Mac's going to be that dog. He's going to be the number one guy. But if we can be 2, 3, 1A, 1B, and get out there and do your job, and you see Coker right there just doing what he's supposed to do, you could depend on all those guys, man. The joy on Bryce, the joy we felt as fans watching this team go out and execute was incredible.
Al, my question to you is, why did it work this game where they're setting records, everyone gets the ball, we see them taking the top off, yards after catch? Why was it so successful this game when maybe in the past that hasn't been a strength of this team?
Yeah, KB, football is difficult. Those guys get paid, and sometimes defenses come out with an incredible game plan. I think it's scheme, I think it's understanding. Then it's your leader who just refuses to go away, and Bryce Young refuses to hear the narratives outside of this building and go out and just distribute the ball. He doesn't have to throw it down the field, which he did this game, but he knows that he can get it to those talented wide receivers and let those guys cook, man. Those guys are going to run after the catch. And the numbers they put up after they had the ball in their hands was different than we've seen all season. So it just works sometimes because Dave Canales, Dan Morgan, give him credit for what they do in the front office. The players on the field executing just went out and did the job that they were coached to do in the game plan all week.
All right, I want to talk about defense now. We know that offense put up those impressive numbers, which we just talked about. But of course, we got to give love to the defense, especially in the second half. First half was, they gave up 3 touchdowns, 17 first downs, 257 yards in that first half. And then they come out a completely different defense. You can see the numbers right there. No touchdowns, only allowed 25% on third down. 6 points, most importantly, in second half and overtime. Trey, what are the adjustments that are made?
Yeah, going into halftime, you looked at this team on defense and said, hey, guys, which team are we going to see coming out in that second half? And we found the defense that we've been seeing at our highlight of our season. Now, I will also say this play right here takes out Penix, and he only plays 1 series in that second half. Now, listen, it's next man up. Doesn't matter who's up. You just got to stop them. I thought this team did a great job of being physical. Yes, I thought Bijan had a couple runs that he slithered out, but we did a great job of putting hat on man every single play. If you can watch these highlights, who have you been seeing? You've been seeing 7. Hey, I'm telling you, Merrick has been all over the field. This was another game where, listen, he banged and he brought it, and the rest of this team, you talking about next man up, there's guys, look, Mike Jack, 1 versus, hey, you could say our cornerback 2, prime real estate. There's nothing that's going to happen. Look, that was in overtime, I believe. Hey, we made plays when we needed to. It was exciting to see how this defense can make plays and guys stepping up, having fun inside another opponent's stadium. This is the defense that you can plan on receiving. I mean, Derrick Brown, we have Ashawn Robinson. We have veterans who are pumping these guys up. Again, going into that halftime, I can tell somebody got these boys juiced. And Evero, hats off to you, because all great coaches switch up schemes to get the job done. And you did exactly that.
Yeah, you see that Carolina Panthers DNA that we're a part of, that legacy. You go out there, you fly around. The young guys, the veteran guys, the new guys to the system all went out there and were able to do their job. Milton's out there. He's playing DB. He's doing a great job. Turk Wharton, again, getting healthier on defense, establishing himself in the middle. Christian Roseboom, Green Dot now. No Trevin Wallace. What do you do? Claudine Cherlis. So many names. You can see the excitement from 2 defensive guys just seeing what it looks like. We know what it looks like. We saw it yesterday. The second half, you're right, Trey. Somebody got after somebody in that locker room. They had a come to Jesus meeting, and they came out a completely different football team.
And it worked. And then as a defense, when you don't have your best half, what does it mean, Al, to have your offense come out and be able to score points and be able to do what Bryce did while you work your way back to that defense that we know you are?
Total team football, and that's what you want to have happen, right? There are three phases of football. Can you pick me up, right? We didn't get our job done in the first half. Offense, can you get it, put it together, put points on the board? And special teams, can you make a play? Can you set the tone? Can someone run down there and pop somebody and get us all going? So it's complementary football. It's total team football. And when you put that together, all three phases, you come home with a win.
Yeah, when you talk about complimentary football, I like what you said there with pick-me-up football, because sometimes we think of complimentary as, hey, we're playing good, you play good. No, sometimes we do need that pick-me-up. Hey, your defense does start off, pretty slow. Next thing you know, you say, you know what, offense, hey, we got your back. Hey, we're going to get y'all the ball back. Hey, we're going to get y'all, hey, we're going to put some points on the board. And we saw that. Both sides using each other, getting turnovers. I mean, we won the turnover battle as well. Now, we didn't score off that turnover. We're going to talk about it. But we put points on the board when we needed to. So to see that happen from this team, again, another element that I love seeing.
All right, you guys are going to go to the board in just a moment and break down Bryce in more detail and that passing game. But first, let's hear from head coach Dave Canales on what he thought of Bryce and the offense's performance.
To me, it's just my expectation for Bryce to take every game plan and every opportunity and attack it. And he's been doing that. Today was a day about the whole group. It was about all the guys, the time on task, the side conversations in practices, working together in between drives and really just making it come alive and finding the completions where they were and extending the play when he needed to. And I'm just proud of the way that he just pushed through for his teammates, and it just speaks volumes to, the type of leader that he's continuing to grow into and, to be able to be available for his guys and find a bunch of different guys in different situations.
All right, Al Wallace and Trey Boston back on the board here at the Panthers post-game show. Man, look, the Panthers did their job. They went out there, absolutely cooked, Trey, but it's about one man. It's about the guy, Bryce Young, and what he was able to do against the Atlanta Falcons on the road. We got some clips for you to see these throws, how Bryce went out there and absolutely torched this defense. Let's start to break it down right here on the board. Man, we love to show Bryce and how he gets these things done. Trey, right here, we're going to just start with how a quarterback's eyes, and you played the safety position, can absolutely manipulate the back end of this defense. The guy we're going to watch right here is all-pro safety at one point right there, Jesse Bates, on how Bryce Young is able to use his eyes to move him out of the way to throw an absolute dot to complete this pass.
All right, now one thing I know about Jesse is not only is he a great safety, but going into this game, we knew that we didn't pass down the field too often when it came to our offensive when it comes to passing routes and our passing trees. So you have a safety who's being a little eager, knowing the first 15 plays, I can be flat-footed. I can get after the ball. But great job with Bryce knowing that and getting his eyes to move and finding a route on the back end.
Yeah, great quarterback play right there by Bryce Young. And you just look at the accuracy, putting this thing right on Jalen Coker, who had an incredible day right there at wide receiver, just doing his job. You see the eyes right there of Bryce Young. Look him off, get it into the open space. One of the better throws that we're going to see here of Bryce Young. I'm going to move on to this second play. Again, manipulation, formation, scheme, some of the things we often talk about, right? We go into, or coming off of last week, can this team throw the ball down the field? What does the play calling look like? We're showing you here how Bryce Young absolutely gets it done. Now we have Tommy Tremble. We're going to get the tight ends involved, Trey. We got Tommy Tremble right here. Again, you want to move a safety, you want to move this zone defense. We're going to show you how to get it done by Dave Canales' scheme right here. As Tommy Tremble is going to move this safety, again, coming down in that man-to-man coverage.
Getting him out the zone, creating good lanes for Bryce to throw through, but then finding T-Mac in stride, T-Mac with the yak. I mean, we want to see it. Again, roll it.
There's Tommy right there.
Show Tommy getting out. I want you to go back on that. Go back a little bit on them. Show them the pocket that we're going to open up here. All right, let's play. Stop that. Look at this, all this area. Look at this all this area that we throw through, we see through, clean pocket, clear that out, my dog. Clean pocket to throw through, in stride, T-Mac with nothing but yardage to go get. And one thing we know, T-Mac is going to find himself with some yak yards.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see Bryce take a hit there. We know he went down in this game, came back, he showed the toughness, but it's what he does now. He steps up in the pocket. He trusts these guys up front to absolutely get it done, to make sure that the ball gets where it needs to go. All right, another play right here is talking total team offense on this play, Trey, right? It's the little things that kind of goes unnoticed right here. I'm a pass rusher. I'm an edge guy, so you watch what happens as this pass rush gets going right here. That pocket looks like it's breaking down around Bryce Young, but here's the guy I want to highlight right here. We'll talk about the throw. We'll talk about the catch, all the good things that happen, but you know why it's able to happen? Because you got Rico Dowdle right there stepping up, great protection, good pocket presence.
Yes.
He just look at these throws. I mean, hitting the guys in the hand, in stride, where they can take off and make plays. Boom, we're going to stop it right there. Hey, eye him up, size him up, block him up. Let's get the ball off. Great protection,
Look
great
at him set
pocket
his feet.
presence.
I love him setting his feet, get into the throw that he wants, man. Linebackers in such a bad position on that ball. He doesn't even go for the jump because it's put right in the perfect spot.
Yeah,
Good
absolutely.
To see.
Absolutely great play right here. So another play right here with Bryce Young. You're going to just see this offense and how it's set up. So, again, here you go. 3 tight ends, 13 personnel, meaning 1 back, 3 tight ends, Trey. And what you're thinking, if you're the Atlanta Falcons, they're going to run this ball. They're going to hand it to Rico. They're going to find a way to try to pick up this first down. Another great example of a great scheme, a great play by this offense. Tell me what happens right here, Trey, on the back end. Mitchell Evans just wide open on this play. They completely lose track of the tight end. They don't know where he is, and he's just running free for Bryce Young right here to throw this ball deep right here. We'll pause it right here and let it go for you.
So I want to pause it even before that. Go, bring it back a little bit to the start of that play if we can. All right, so look, at the start of this play, boom, I got y'all. We have trips nub. When we have this trips nub, we're seeing man-to-man. Man-to-man. This guy has in guy on the line. Now, once we motion in, we've created eyes. Now he doesn't know who he's guarding. This guy stays in as well. Now, the number 1 becomes your 3rd tight end in here. All right, erase it. Now, as a DB, you're not used to guarding tight ends. So once your number 1, your number 2, both go in the block, my man's not thinking, erase. That number 3 is going out for the pass. He's like, oh, shoot. Wide open play call. Canales, great job with this play call. We saw this play call also ran earlier in the season during Miami when they needed it. Again, look at the open space that we're finding our guys in. It's amazing to see play calls like this, the coaches versus coaches battle inside the game.
Yeah, just dirty eyes right there. We'll start this play over because, again, we're talking scheme, we're talking formation, we're talking play setup as we get going right here. One thing to notice, T-Mac, right? He's normally an outside receiver. They're lining him on the slot. Here's Chuba Hubbard, the running back. Empty formation right here, down inside the red zone. Linebacker, Ellis. On your best receiver in this lineup. Let's just watch what happens right here, because when I initially watched this, I'm thinking, man, this could be a wheel route right here. It's going to go here, and it's going to turn this thing up. But then as you take a closer look, we talk about the offseason. We talk about the chemistry between the rookie and the third-year quarterback and how those guys have built that just unspoken, that communication where, hey, I know where you're going to be. I'm feeling you. I'm watching you. And watch Bryce right here make the adjustment through the pocket. T-Mac turns it up, linebackers on the ground touching earth. There's no way for him to make that play against your best player at wide receiver. Bryce Young starts his progression to the right, on the roll. T-Mac, toes in, touchdown, Carolina Panthers. Just great offense. And then last, right here, we'll talk about how this game just ended. And the one important thing is head coach, offensive play caller, Dave Canales talked about how Tommy Tremble on this last play, Trey, was the 3rd read, maybe 4th read in this progression. So we'll take a look at it and see how Bryce just goes through it. I trust my guys. I'm in the pocket. It's clean. Finds Tommy Tremble, and I'll take this. They don't want any parts of it. End of the game, no tackling. we get in good position for us to end this football
Now,
game.
I want to tell you that this play, we can stop right here. This play started before this play. It started with Bryce in the game, getting guys started early. It started with him getting to 9 different wide receivers in this game. Again, in the play, in the overtime when you need your guy, Tommy Trimmer's a guy you can trust on. You've seen him make plays, especially in Atlanta last year. You do it again. That was one of the, if not the most important play of the game.
Yeah, signature play, guys. And that's how we were breaking it down, because you can see Bryce, he's all the way to his left, comes back, 1, 2, 3. Tommy, and do you want to tackle? Do you want to win the game?
No, you don't.
No. We'll just go ahead and close this out. We'll get our kicker out here, Fitzgerald. We'll kick this thing through, and we'll just walk away with the victory. Just beautiful game plan, beautiful play calling, and execution. Bryce Young threw the ball 45 times.
Yeah.
Came up with 448 yards,
Yeah.
a team record. Absolutely incredible performance by QB1.
Listen. Hey, this is your team. I tried to mess it up for you a couple times, okay? But you wouldn't let it happen, okay? It didn't matter. You just kept playing ball. You just went to the next series, guys. We had some trashy stuff in there, didn't we? For sure. And we had some beautiful stuff happen, okay?
Always love to see those victory speeches in the locker room right there. And Al, you said that the part that really resonated with you the most is when Dave Canales was saying, this is your team.
Yeah, I like that part of it, because in 02, 03, our Super Bowl run, it was a player-led team. It was a veteran-laden roster that took ownership of everything, whether it was our tempo and our effort and our energy and practice to the product that you saw out in Bank of America Stadium on the field. So all of that plays a role in that you hear Dave Canales going out and saying, this is your team. You go out, take ownership of it. Good and bad, we're going to be better off. We're going to kind of keep you in the box as the coaching staff, but you have to take ownership of it and look at the result that we saw on Sunday.
Yeah, I love them being able to embrace the good and the bad. We have to look at that bad and know, like, there's going to be tough times, but will we fight, through them, how we act when we get to these times, and there's going to be beautiful times. What I love with Coach Canales, I told him personally that I love his post-game speeches, is because he calls out different players in these games that you might not be your stat sheet fillers. They might not be guys who might have had some important, huge role, but the little pieces of guys who are important, the little role players that he instills confidence in, the guys who you're going to need week after week or the next man up. He does a great job involving those guys in the mix. And again, it's a confidence boost in a team. We need every player on our team. Yeah. And just like your team, just like our Super Bowl team, it's led by the players.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the direction of this team as a whole. Of course, this is a post-game show. We talk about these games in the moment, but we would be remiss not to talk about where this team is right now. Half a game back of the Bucs in the conversation right now. And Trey, where is this team trending towards?
All right, listen, I told y'all last week, I believe 4 wins could get us into the playoffs, but I think now we have control, of if we take control of our destiny, this team can win the division. You talk about a half game back. We play the Bucs how many times?
2 more.
2 more times. So we can have the head-to-head if anything happens, if we go out there and play this type of football. Man, this team is having fun. They're having joy. Listen, this is different locker rooms that you're seeing them dancing in. Why does that mean? It's because they're winning on the road, not just at home. This is a team that has a foundation that is built, that they are finding ways to win every single week. When you have games that are won inside of Green Bay, games won in Atlanta, it continues to boost the morale of your team, and they love and fall in love with what winning feels like, and that's what we're seeing right here.
Yeah, I think in the division, or when you go in the spring and guys start to show up and you go through the workouts, there's one goal: win the division. And if you had told me, no matter what this record is, sitting here today, if we're in a position to go to our final 3-game stretch of the season with an opportunity to become kings of the South, I'm going to love it. I'm going to be right there with you. So no matter what this thing looks like, 6-5, 7-4, if we can be in a position to take on the Bucs, we're going to put the pressure on them. They've won this thing for the last 3 or 4 years. I like that pressure. I like that spot for the Carolina Panthers to go in, maybe as the underdog against a team who's dominated the South.
Well, let's take a closer look at those division standings right now. As we mentioned, Carolina a half game back right there. And, you know, we saw the Bucs, the reason that we are a half game back is because of that loss at Buffalo. That game went back and forth there. The Falcons, of course, lose to us, and the Saints are on a bye week. And, guys, every week we're talking about this right now. And, you know, also in the hunt when it comes to maybe a wild card position. But, Trey, I loved what you said about this is now a team that is in control of its own destiny. And you're smiling right now. We're not looking at the cameras now, but you both are smiling right now. That's got to be such a great feeling as a player.
Man, if I told y'all going into this season, 11 games in, we'd be in contention for the playoffs, how happy would our fans and our organization be going into this season? And a lot of people felt like this season was good for us. But heading into those first few games, we had people quit on us, whether it was fans, and people were like, oh, no, Mayday, here we go again. For our guys to fight back, like you said, give ourselves to be in contention. Not just be in contention, we still have a bye week. Like, I want y'all to know, like, we still have a time where we can get healthy. And that is big for this team, for them to be able to relax and say, oh, now we'll go into this stretch of our last few divisional games. These 2 games right here are important, but those last 3 are the ones that make the season. And I smile because I'm so proud of these boys getting to this spot today where they can say, we are playing for the division, not playing to scratch and just be a good team, not playing to just put good product on field. No, we're playing to put product on field that is showing Carolina football is a playoff-worthy, playoff-caliber team. We have to just finish what we've started.
Al, I want to zero in on something that Trey just said is, you know, you start the season 0-2, and he said you battle back. And we were just talking about the way this team can battle back, the way Bryce Young can battle back and lead those game-winning drives. And I know that you like to say that is Panthers football. That is showing purpose. That is showing toughness, identity.
That's the Carolina Panthers I know. I was a part of a team that was dubbed the Cardiac Cats for a reason, right? You get knocked down. We got knocked down a bunch, but we kept getting back up. And I think it's exhausting to other organizations, to other teams who don't understand that mentality. So now when you see Dave Canales roll his team out there, they're well coached. It's going to be halftime. The adjustments are going to be made. And one thing you do know is this team is going to finish football games. They're not going to lay down, and you're excited about that. You're excited about the position they are to play meaningful football in November and December. It's been quite a while, but if you're a Panthers fan like we are, you feel it in your gut. This team is right there. They can smell it. They can feel it, and bring it on. Make it dirty. Make it ugly. We'll find a way to get it done, especially on the road is the best part, to leave those home fans just punch drunk as they leave the stadium. I love it.
Nothing better than silence,
That's right.
Coming out of an away. And they've won 3 straight on the road, which is another thing they've accomplished after struggling on the road to start the season. Okay, we always end the show by getting you guys Monday night picks, and Al has really run away with it with our regulars, Trey. So you got something to live up to. So we'll let the reigning champ go first, Al. What do you think about this game, Cowboys at Raiders?
Yeah, I think the Raiders have an offense. Obviously, Brock Bowers is absolutely amazing at tight end. This Dallas Cowboys defense has been atrocious, but they're getting some help. They're getting a linebacker. They're getting Quinnen Williams. They traded for with the deadline for the Jets. I like the offense. It's explosive. Look there, number 1 pass offense in the NFL. I'm going to go with the Cowboys because I think they have a little more juice on their offense than the Raiders, and Max Crosby and those guys are going to be able to handle tonight.
Yeah, looking at this game, I heard that Al has the best record, so I'm going to go ahead and join my boy. We're going to go with the Cowboys, but I have a different reason. Looking at the offense from the Raiders, you've seen Geno Smith pass, I wanted to say it's 12 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. They just traded off his number 1 wide receiver in Jacoby Myers off to Jacksonville. You can tell they might just be in a rebuilding situation there, so I like where Dallas is at, especially with those new trade-ins that they're getting in. So Dallas might be on the rise. I can see the boys over there in Las Vegas. They're looking at next year.
I was going to say, Trey, you know, Al has the best winning percentage right now, but you coming in as a guest star today,
I'm just saying,
you could either have 100% winning percentage or 0%
We gotta
winning
put a
percentage
minimum
on
on
this.
that, right? There gotta be
There's an asterisk. I'll get
Or
my
bust.
asterisk. We're good. We're good.
Boom or bust there. Gentlemen, thank you so much. This was such a fun one to talk about. Thank you all for watching. Trey and I will be back on Wednesday with the Avenue. Of course, we have the Panthers Huddle later in the week, and then we'll always be back with you the following Monday for the Panthers post-game show. Thanks for watching, everybody.